Now, I'm not going to say I dislike this series, but I do have an element of concern going forward that I'm interested if anyone's going to agree with, because this isn't the first time, not going to be the last time, one of these kind of like power fantasy shows go collect waifus like their Pokemon, MC has shit ability, turns out super strong, yada yada, they become overpowered. And usually it's a very poor kept secret, like the viewers watching can acknowledge that most likely they're probably busted to the point that they ain't gonna struggle going forward. But it's like the shows try to make you think like they're trying to convince you that no, 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 he still has a long way to go before he's like busted. The show just did the opposite. I am fully convinced this man's indestructible by the first third of an anime's first season. And if so, I don't think he's gonna struggle. I think maybe the saving grace is that the show's very much embracing the silly and like even acknowledges that this man's catching Pokemon in his Alabama style harem. But like I don't think he by his second tree waifu, he has a barrier. I don't even think he needed a barrier. But I'm pretty sure at this point he's the definition of can't touch this. And there's definitely some aspects I'm really excited about because now seeing that for like the second time in a row, the man in question who screwed his life over is now following him around without realizing it, almost like he's Team Rocket in a singular person and just continuously getting his ass beaten, like he is physically getting tortured, only to continuously get saved either by him or tree spirits. I think that's a really funny addition, and I think it's going to go one of two ways. Either this man's going to turn into like a school shooter equivalent, or he's going to eventually worship the ground our boy's feet walk on, because I'm thinking of like Spear Hero from Shield Hero. It could be something like that. I hope they commit to like every time he gets saved by him, he hates him more, and he turns into the most generic villain known to man but still can't do anything and just blasts off again. There's a lot I legitimately enjoy about this show, but I'm just baffled because I don't know what direction they want to take. The only bright side is despite the migraine in his head getting larger with more and more women invading it, he didn't have to lose any more body parts. I was kind of worried he was going to turn into Frankenstein's monster where like, you know, he has to give up an arm for this one, a leg for this one. Nah, it just all goes into the same eye, but I probably should have saw it coming. But when Torterra turned into a little cute turtle with a snake tail, I was like, oh, that's cute. You know, we got like a little mascot though. No, it's a waifu too. This man, I have questions, but I am gonna watch more. Of course, if you want to support more work though, see my full thoughts on these episodes. We do got the Patreon where we got the full live reactions available exclusively over there if you're so interested. So, I am enjoying this one. I definitely think it's different than where episode 1 set it out, but I am enjoying it. It's just, my concerns I don't think are like over exaggerated. It's just legitimately like my question is there a sense of threat? When you look at this episode, the threat was never going to be there because we see that, like, no matter if you fall into an actual death trap, she loops you back to the beginning and says, play again. And then when you consider the fact that he has a voice in his head that says, hey, trap here, dodge this, or he's, you know, got all these indestructible abilities, right? Like, he's very much getting closer because the more they throw at him, the more he absorbs. Like, that's basically where he's at, is that the more abilities he interacts with, the more he absorbs and the stronger he becomes. And even if you didn't give him that ability, the fact that as he gains more of these like tree followers, these tree spirits, like he just keeps getting more and more power. And the fact that like they're not even trying to be subtle about it. Like characters in question are literally looking at him saying like, what the hell? So if they're gonna commit, because there is an element of self-awareness to the show, I do think there is. I think the author behind this isn't completely just trying to write a power fantasy. I do think it mostly falls into such, but I do think there is an element of self-aware mindset, which is probably why there is so much silliness to it. And I think if they commit to the silliness, if they commit to keeping it more ridiculous and not taking itself too seriously and not trying to pretend that there ever is a threat, I'll be able to look at a lot of these situations and be like, yep, I mean, we know what type of scene this is. But if they start getting into the habit of like MC worried about life or can I do this, I'll probably have an issue there because a blind man can see this man's probably not going to struggle. Like, I'm convinced the Demon Lord himself could pop up, all-powerful Satan, and he'd be like, achoo, and the sneeze would blow him off to the damn moon or something. And that's kind of funny, I ain't gonna lie, but it's just like, what direction are we taking this? Should we be concerned? Is this okay? I don't know. I don't have enough material to really justify just yet. The one thing is, I wasn't expecting them to recruit waifu number 3 and 4 already. That was a little sudden. I thought like another episode or two. And if that's the case, by episode 7, this man potentially could out harem Rentro from 100 Girlfriends, which is kind of wild. I just hope there's going to be more husbandos, man, because that merchant from last week I still think is his best option. He should rip out his eye, take the L, go be with his husband-to-be, and just have a peaceful life. Because this man, there's one voice currently in his head that I think would be tolerable. The other mother-in-laws and new tree spirit, no. There's too much going on there. This man's never gonna have a single... And it's just the fact that, like, they refer to each other as, like, this is my daughter, this, that, and I'm like, this is about to be the Alabama harem. This is such a weird thing, and that's so oddly entertaining, but, like, questionable, and I love him. Best part of the episode, hands down, though, was, of course, this man. So this man got done in, dirty. Now, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve what he's getting, but I feel like he deserves to have that same punishment equally distributed towards that bitch. But she, to her credit, sold that man out. He made me. He said I had to, and I'm like, crocodile tears, but... well done. Fuck her. Yeah, but like, the dude got munched on by a giant crocodile dinosaur thing, was falling into Venus flytraps, fell into, and the dude just kept getting worse and worse to the point he's like, damn, this dude one-shot this for, is it really him again? Like, he's not blasting off again like Team Rocket, but it feels like it. And that's really fun to me because I want this man to just continuously be like, I hate him. This guy's like, oh, thank God someone saved me. You gotta be shitting me. It's him again. That is really fun to me. And I think every anime needs a Team Rocket level antagonist that you know is never going to actually ruin the character's life, but they think they can. And it just is really funny to watch them fumble time and time again. I love that shit. I love those characters in level 2 super cheat powers, literally Jesse and James of that world. I need more of that. Enjoyable episode. There's no other way to put it. It was very enjoyable. It just has me concerned on what the show wants to be, because I'm convinced it doesn't want us to take it seriously, but there's an element that I'm like, are they actually gonna, because this dude's busted. Or maybe, you know, a couple episodes from now, we're gonna see what actually is busted, but it feels like he's indestructible at this point. And if you've already given him a shield guardian spirit, he's literally can't touch this. Like, are we supposed to think he's actually, you know, he's got a struggle at this point? I don't know. But seemingly every guardian that we go to meet has a different theme. We got jungle theme this week, so that actually is pretty exciting. I wasn't expecting that, but we'll see where it goes. Let me know what you thought of this week's episode down below. Do you agree that this man seems absolutely busted, or do you think there's still room for him to struggle? Let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell. Like I mentioned, full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. All right, so today we got Gareth Green, Durberg Jude, Third Dynasty, Arter Kunha, Fabian, Ham of Rage, and we also have Tran Nukin. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.